A month-long trial drew crowds from around the country as people tried to catch a glimpse of those proceedings. And today we saw the same thing as people caught the last moments of what was happening there. Our Nate Stanley takes us to the scene outside the courthouse.
There was a buzz here all morning as the crowd continued to grow and then thinned out in the early afternoon. I spoke to some people who traveled hours to be here, others who have lived here their whole life. Almost everybody I spoke to agreed justice was served.
Wow. You know?
That was Roosevelt Wiley's reaction to the verdict and sentencing of Alex-Murdaugh's murder trial. He and his wife traveled to be outside Colleton County Courthouse on Thursday to see the final day of court proceedings.
We had been following the trial for quite some time now. It just struck me that this was a place to be today, you know, especially on this day.
He was joined by dozens of others watching the frenzy. People took pictures of all the news outlets, some even filmed social media videos, and others just stood around taking it all in. During the court proceedings, many, including Brad and Kathy McKenzie from Michigan, were outside the courthouse steps streaming the action on their phones.
It was quick, and we figured being a quick verdict, we thought right away he would be guilty. It's kind of a shock.
English and Kathy took a short 20-minute drive and were the last members of the public allowed in the courtroom.
It was very solemn. It was very quiet. We could see John and we could see Buster. And, you know, watching Alec and stuff, it was just kind of strange to see him.
Local businesses have had mixed reactions to the fanfare. Casey Diggers says all the traffic meant a loss of customers.
We got all these parking spots taken up, and they're trying to find places to park and trying to find people to drop them off, but they can't. I'm just so glad it's over.
However, for Derek Rush at Main Street Grill, the trial meant an influx of business and new customers. Hopeful Walterboro's reputation wasn't tarnished.
But without question, the people of Walterboro are special. It's small, it's quaint, it's quiet, it's country. And at the end of the day, it's good, genuine people. And that's what people need to take away from it.
Murdaugh left here shortly after 10 a.m. and was taken to Kirkland Correctional Institution. In Walterboro, I'm Nate Stanley, News 19, WLTX.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nate. And boy, is it a different scene now as we hit 5:36 today. This area behind me during the sentencing, during the hearing, this was packed. You can still see the fences put up and the caution tape and the cones. We have been slowly watching, JR, as all of the other media outlets have taken down and they're packing up. What an incredible 6 weeks it's been, but the message that we have heard from most of the locals today is they do feel that justice was done with not one, not two, but 3 guilty verdicts for Alec Murdaugh.
And you know, Andrew, we asked our viewers at home what's their reaction to all of this. Keith from Georgia, yeah, somebody in Georgia, want to say that Judge Newman was the best pick they could have made to preside over this case. The professionalism he showed, the statements made at sentencing started making way for the sun to shine back on our legal system that Alec put a big cloud over. I've heard a lot of good comments about Judge Clifton Newman.
I can't tell you how much respect I have for the man. I know him personally. I've chatted with him before. And if you want to talk about something that literally the defense and the prosecution may be the only thing they agreed upon in this trial, is how amazing Judge Clifton Newman is. He is fair. He is incredibly patient. He definitely takes all of the jury's needs to heart, always trying to do what's best for them, whether they need a break or they're hungry or whatever else. So I completely agree. All
right, Jeanette from Sumter, life is not long enough. I can't believe that the only thing he said was that he did not kill Maggie or his son. He looks as if he has no remorse for anything, for lying, stealing, murder, or drug addiction. Again, Jeanette from Sumter, thank you for your comment. Yeah, he did not show any remorse today in court, Andrew. In fact, he doubled down once again, saying he's not the killer.
Right, but I think if the jurors, if everybody, the public is tired of anything, it's his lies. They almost expect it from him at this point. But yes, I agree with that viewer. It would have been nice to see some sort of remorse.
All right, we have one more comment we want to go over. This is Carrie from Pillion. My heart breaks for the family and friends of Maggie and Paul. Drug addiction may be an illness, but murder is a crime. There are treatments for addiction, but not for committing this horrible act. Alec's entire family history has been tarnished. This is such a sad, senseless tragedy. And again, you know, the Murdaugh family continues to live in that neck of the woods. Again, the crimes of one should not be held against the entire family here.
You know, being here and being so close, I sat a row behind the family, behind John Martin and Buster's girlfriend and Alex's sister. And it really, just looking at them, struck you that this is a real family. There's real consequences, and poor Buster has now essentially lost his entire family. It could have been very different, but it certainly is sad. It was sad, JR, I saw the Beach family, Mallory Beach's family, walked into court today for the sentencing. Obviously, as you know, they decided not to speak. None of the victims wanted to speak, but it was tragic to see them, and her father spoke and said, yes, this makes us feel a little bit better. Justice has been done, but it won't bring Mallory back.
All right, Andrea, thank you so much. We'll be checking in with you coming up at 6 o'clock as well.